Hello and welcome to episode 99 of 15K Plus Random Movie Reviews, the podcast where we take a random movie from Metacritic's all-time movie list. This is Colin.
This is Niall.
This is Random Movie 1411. It is Repo Man from 1984. Runs for 1 hour and 32 minutes. Got a Metascore of 82 and a user score of 7.0. Had a budget of 1.5 mil and had a box office of 3.7 mil. So for an indie movie, it's
reasonably
done okay.
return.
But I think it's evolved into a cult classic, more so than a money spinner.
I'd imagine over the decades it's made a bit of money back. It is like I actually paid money to watch this, would you believe? And I think it was money well spent. It's massively surprising. I was expecting garbage. It's not garbage.
I had a bit of optimism for it. I read up a little bit about it, and I knew going into it, I was expecting a lot more punk music, to be honest with you, because it was deemed as a punk rock sort of foray, but Iggy Pop and
Stooges,
Circle Jerks. Also, I was Shazamming thinking there was going to be very loud music throughout, and I think Suicidal Tendencies comes up as well.
Institutionalized
a little bit,
at the very start,
at a little start. But I was expecting a lot more driving the movie. Like Iggy Pop does the theme music for it, both at the start and the end. So it's
hence the song being called Repo Man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so directed and written by Alex Cox, who made major sort of feather in his cap is Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas writer.
Great movie again. Similar in some respects because it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's not really rated well in Metacritic. Fear and Loathing. It's like 50 something.
I really enjoyed that movie as well. I like weird stuff at times, and Fear and Loathing is definitely a weird movie.
Yeah, he tried to rekindle the popularity of this with Repo Chick in 2009. I'd like to watch it. Yeah, I'm guessing it's really bad. The actors who plays the secretary of the repo company has a bit part in it, but I don't think anybody else is in it.
He couldn't get Emilio into it, no.
Doubt it. Well, 2009, he probably could have done it. He's not really doing much, I guess.
No.
So Emilio Estevez plays Otto. Harry Dean Stanton plays Bud. Tracy Walter plays Miller, who you think is just a weirdo, but then he obviously becomes a pivotal.
He was right all along, Colin. He was right all along.
Yeah, you think he's just one of those. He kind of reminded me of Jack Nicholson's character in Easy Rider, just pontificating about UFOs and stuff, and then he gets.
It's exactly what he does.
Yeah. You know what it reminded me of as well was the end of Save the Green Planet! Exclamation point.
I have that written down here. Exactly as you said. It just goes super weird. It doesn't bother building up to the weirdness. It just jumps right in there. Let's go with it. It's executed substantially better in this. That's not hard.
Yeah, Save the Green Planet was
just disappointing a little bit.
Disappointing and just not, the nonsense didn't make any sense. You need the nonsense to make sense, which is paradoxical and whatever, but you need it to have a little bit of a grasp on reality a little bit.
I don't think it would have taken a lot to get the Save the Green Planet up to this level. They just pivoted a little bit too hard at the end.
Yeah, from what I remember, I think I just remember not digging the insanity of it at all.
Yeah, the nose, hair aliens or something like that. I can't remember.
I don't even remember. It was just
freaking weird.
Yeah, maybe we'll talk about it in episode 100 next week. But like in general, so what vibes did you take from this movie?
I loved its what I'd like to describe as its parallel universe nature. In that it's very much like reality, but weird crap and lots of weird crap in the background is not from reality. Like in the shop, everything's white labeled, and
love that.
The labels say drink, popcorn. I don't know why, but that just makes me so freaking happy.
It's so good. I love it. It's
such a lovely touch, isn't it?
I think I only
necessary, but everything. And then the drink. At one point, a can of beer is labeled drink. Then later, there's a can of beer labeled beer.
Yeah.
There isn't even consistency in it, and I adore it for that.
I think Harry Dean Stanton goes, "Let's go for a drink," and then they get a 6-pack, and it's just drinks written on it.
Yeah. And then later he goes, "Let's have a beer." And, oh, beer.
It's sort of, it goes into spoof territory a little bit with that sort of comedy,
but it doesn't lean on it heavy though. No. That's what I love. It's subtle. You might miss it, and that's just a beautifully rich piece of production in my eyes.
Yeah, so like in general, the plot is Emilio Estevez becomes hired as a repo man of cars that people don't pay paybacks, but then that's just the sort of flexible spine of the plot.
Yeah, it's just a vehicle for lunacy.
Yeah, but then we have like, it also reminded me of The Big Lebowski with the nihilists, those 3 gun-toting weirdos. We're like nihilists.
Yeah, I get that. The punks, the punk thieves.
The punks, the punk thieves.
Yeah, and they're really interesting as well. Like there isn't a massive amount of depth to some of it, but I don't care.
Yeah, but as we were saying before, it's we went on air. You need to watch it again. We've missed a lot by just writing up notes, and I knew I was missing stuff.
Yeah, I was the same. Like I paused it a few times to go back and then rewatch stuff, but that kind of ruins it. So I decided halfway through just to cut back on the notes and just half enjoy and half take notes on the more important pieces, which means I missed out on a bunch of good quotes, which is an awful shame.
Yeah, I don't think I have a lot of quotes written down because I just couldn't remember them all. But I will just point out funny things that I thought were quite funny during the movie. I think the movie starts off with just setting the scene of weirdness with the police stop.
Such a great opening scene, and it feels like a normal movie. It's a police stop. A guy's driving a Chevy, and a CHP lad pulls him over on his motorbike. Goes out to the back of the car. Oh, he doesn't go out to the back. He goes over and says, he doesn't even ask him anything. He says, "What's in your trunk?" Like, it's a weird question to ask. Goes out the back and opens the trunk, and the movie is set right here. He gets blasted by, what was it described as? A neutron bomb or something to that effect. You just see his skeleton for a second, then a blast of light, and all that's left is his boots. Smoking boots.
I love the cinematography of, what is his name? J. Frank Parnell is the character in the car, the guy who's driving the UFO alien corpses around the city.
The lobotomized scientist.
Yeah, I love the way
he's his own friend.
There's an angle of the side mirror, and his eye is just looking back at the cop.
Yeah, isn't that? And just to expand upon that, it's one eye, but then the other eye is here behind the sunglass lens, but this one isn't. Doesn't explain it.
No. Please
don't explain it. I don't need to know. It's just great.
Smoking boots are fun. It's just fun and powerful, simple yet effective, as my art teacher used to say as she locked me in a cupboard.
Yes, for
forever.
The things you had done.
Yeah. I just found it so funny, and I don't know why, that his buddy Kevin was singing the 7-Up song in the next scene when they're stocking the shelves. I just found it sad, pathetic that he's singing a corporate brand that he's stacking shelves with, basically.
Well, what's beautiful about that is there's no branding anywhere else in the entire movie. So
the magic trees.
Sorry, yes, they were quite prominent as well.
I think they did sponsor the movie.
Did they?
I believe, yes.
They probably paid them enough to say no more sponsorship from anybody else, no other brands, okay?
Yeah. But that's Miller. Miller puts that into the plot. He's like going, every car has one of these.
Does indeed. Makes little sense, but it is used a little bit later on. But its usage is also weird and doesn't make a whole heap of sense.
Yeah. So Emilio's character Otto is with his buddy. I think his buddy's name is Kevin. Anyway, he doesn't really...
Kevin, yeah.
There's another scene later on that made me laugh, but we don't see a lot of them. He's got they've got like an office space manager and a trigger happy security guard who's just wacky.
I love the manager. I love his delivery of the lines. It's like the worst actor you've ever met in the world. But it's great. So intentional though. It's dry. It's monotone. It's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. And I just like the way it just descends into chaos. It was like, fuck you. I'm just,
I quit.
yeah, punk rock quitting, basically.
Yeah, yeah. The most plastic punk rock quitting ever, though. It's like,
Yeah.
but that's just amazing.
Yeah. Who falls it through the cans? Is it Kevin or is it the
He
manager?
throws Kevin through the cans.
Who's his buddy?
Yeah. I quit. Push my friend through the cans.
Yeah.
What an asshole.
I think the song that the Circle Jerks play next is Coup d'etat, which I couldn't really Shazam a lot more because it's really sort of played in the background a lot and it gets talked over.
It's very hard to get any of them out of it, but I think that's it.
Yeah. And then Institutionalized by Suicidal Tendencies.
Well, we had to know that one.
Next.
Jesus.
Yeah, we grew up. Suicidal Tendencies was a very sort of punk, underrated, underknown band that sometimes was played on a metal station, but not a lot.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s.
Yeah, he's back in Kevin's house then directly after he gets fired, or he quits. Which is really, it's Kevin's parents' house. There's a bunch of rockers and punk lads messing the place up. Kevin doesn't really want them there, but he's Kevin, so he can't do anything about it.
He gets pushed into cans. That's a Kevin.
Poor Kevin.
We all know a Kevin.
Yeah.
But Emilio's girl is
she the one that from later on were doing the robberies, or am I miss? Oh, it isn't her. No,
I have no. I don't think so.
No, I don't think it was her. I didn't go back to check because it couldn't be better.
No.
It's not his girl though.
No,
she sends him off for a beer. He comes back with 2 beers.
Yes,
and she's shacking up with somebody else, and he's like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" So he sods off, sits outside with Kevin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So. Where does it go into next? We have some old lady.
Yeah, the next day he's just dandering up the road. It's like a crappy area, and he's just kicking a can. And somebody shouts, "Do you want to make $10?" That's
right.
This is a lad we'll later find out to be called Bud. Driving some old car. $10. Drive my wife's car for a few miles, and I'll give you $10.
He calls her the old lady. That's why I have old lady.
Yeah. Apparently, she's pregnant with 2 kids, so that's why she can't drive it herself.
Yeah, that's just a little bullshit.
Yeah. So he negotiates up to $20. Fair play.
Yeah, I think he got 25.
Oh, 25. Maybe. Sorry, $25.
That's why I have it. He carjacks it, and then El Caso y la Cruz by the Plugs play. I think that's the last song I actually get.
Yeah, I stopped checking after a while as well.
Yeah, I like the way. So he brings the car back to the repo dealership and
Helping Hands HQ.
Helping Hands, that's it. I love the way. It was funny the way they did it. The owner, I think, goes, "What's your name?" And he goes, "Otto." And he goes, "Auto Parts."
It's such a terrible line. I love it.
But everybody laughs, and then you're going, That's funny.
How old are you? 21. Have a beer.
Yeah, and then he just pours it on the ground because he's punk.
Screw you guys. I ain't no Repo Man. Really?
Yeah. You're all right.
Yeah. Normally I'd lay somebody out for pouring out a beer on the floor.
Yeah.
You're all right.
You're all right.
And they all start clapping, like, basically. And it's so stupid. But I'm there for it all day.
Yeah. So this is when Miller, what's his name? Yeah, Miller. He shows the magic tree, which as a viewer you're going, what the hell is that for?
Yeah. It's important, but it's not.
No, it's not.
There's a 2-second clip here, just before we jump on to what happens next, of a basically Men in Black style van, and they're at the original scene, the opening scene again.
Yeah,
where the boots were, and there's a line that the boss lady says here to
Agent Roberts with a Z. Agent Rogers with a Z.
Yes, that's it. Susan
Barnes.
Yeah, she says, "Oh damn it, where have I got?" Oh yeah. Sometimes people just explode. It's natural causes.
Right?
He says this to a local
talking
cop.
to the cop. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Typical Men in Black agents.
Yeah, such a
She
great
was
line.
so she's meant to have a metal hand, but they didn't have the budget, so they just sequenced Michael Jackson glove, which makes it even funnier.
So crap. Yeah, the lack of budget really adds.
Yeah. Did you mention? So I think you mentioned it. Was this when we recorded him going home to his parents, or was that before we went on air? I can't remember. How dumb am I?
I don't think we mentioned it.
So he goes home.
That's the next scene. That's the next scene.
But I can't remember if you actually just said it in the intro.
No. That's coming up right now. Right. Yeah. So he goes back home to his parents. They're watching some TV pastor, and in the background he's shouting at them. They're ignoring him, and there's a great line here as well. The pastor shouts at the TV, "I want your money because God wants your money." And the parents are like,
I love the way he just comes out with a can with food on the label. It's like, this branding thing I love. I just don't know why it tickles me so pink. It's just like, I'm trying to think.
Consistently inconsistent as well. Like the on the nose nature of everything that would normally be branded is just gorgeous.
I think I read it was like a criticism of how just generic
commercialized everything is.
Yeah. I think it was specifically California or something that he was talking about. But yeah, his mom and dad are weirdos, and we never see them again. But they're just like everybody else in the thing.
He asks for money because at this moment he's broke. He's lost his job, and he says to his dad, "You know the way you were going to give me $1,000 to go see Europe when I finish school. Well, I think I should finish school, but before we do that, can you just give me the money now?"
I have it now.
And the dad's like, no.
Yeah, you remember what he says? He says, "No, we spent your money on Bibles to El Salvador."
Amazing. So his earlier line of saying that I ain't no repo man flies in his face now because he's like, well, I just got money doing repo work. I can do that again.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, he gets a taste for it as well now.
So he's going. He's been a repo man. He's been shown the ropes by Bud, played by Harry Dean Stanton, who I read was an asshole. I read he was an asshole on set. Yeah, he wouldn't learn his lines or something first because he's like, "I've worked with the best of directors. Nobody tells Harry Dean Stanton to learn his lines." He was like, "Yeah, famous people I've worked with up on cue cards and stuff," but they got him around. But he's very good.
Out of the park in this.
Yeah, he's very good.
So good.
And you said he's the guy. He's one of the dead dudes in the Alien crew, the first Alien movie.
Yeah, he's one of the first guys to snuff it. Obviously, not the first because the alien has to come out of somebody's chest. But yeah, he's one of the maintenance lads in Alien. He doesn't end well. I still remember the scene where he's just looking around and then he looks up. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
I'm in trouble here.
Yeah. So he's been shown the ropes. Is this where he mentions the code?
Repo code. Yeah. It's basically a direct a rip off of Isaac Asimov's the
First
robot
law
or
of
whatever
robotics.
It's called. Yeah.
I have it in front of me. So the repo code is, "I shall not cause harm to any vehicle, nor the personal contents thereof, nor through interaction let that vehicle or the personal contents thereof come to harm." And the first law of robotics is, "A robot may not injure a human being or through an action allow a human being to come to harm."
So ripped off. I love it.
But anytime he's in the car, which I think Sly, is it, or Light,
yeah,
they break all those rules.
Light's pulling out guns and the guns firing blanks, but he's just whacking the car into stuff and just causing mayhem. It's great.
So his first night in the job is just snorting coke.
He says, well, Repo Man has to be up all night, so it's time for speed. Crystal meth.
Speed. Then it's just like, this is the line that got me. It's like, all right, let's go for drinks. And they go and get labeled cans of
drinks.
And so they leave, and then these nihilist punk robbers stand up from behind the counter. It's like,
it's very slapstick. It is very Airplane / Lethal Weapon. Not Lethal Weapon.
Loaded Weapon, which had Emilio Estevez. Naked Gun. It's better.
Sorry, yeah.
But Loaded Weapon was Emilio Estevez's spoof movie.
Yeah, but this is very subtle, and they don't dwell on it either. I love it for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's background noise, and if you're going to put all these details in, just keep them nice and subtle.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
like if it wasn't done properly, I would have hated this movie, I think.
It could easily be a terrible movie. There's no question about it. But it just
Yeah.
manages to. Not once did it annoy me with any of these details, and that's an unusual thing.
We have the introduction to the Rodriguez brothers who come in and out of the movie, and it's just very confusing. But you shouldn't really be confused if you watch it about it when you don't have to take notes. And I probably want to watch this again without taking notes and just enjoy it.
They don't really make a whole heap of sense quite a lot in this movie. Their role, they're competitors to the Helping Hands organization.
Yeah.
But them being repos is never really made clear. But I think they're repos.
I don't even know. Anyway,
they align themselves later on with the alien chasing lady, but
everybody aligns with everybody just against Helping Hands and Emilio Otto.
Yeah.
I don't even know who's on whose side at the end of the movie.
No,
it doesn't really matter.
It makes any difference.
No, they were kind of shown their adversaries with this canal chase with the cars. It doesn't really add anything to it. The main point is at the end, Bud says, "Come on, let's get a drink again," and so they do.
Yep. Yeah, they're back to the shop again, and then it gets robbed again.
Yes.
Like the shop's been robbed like 6 times or something like nuts like that, and it's always like a subtle little, somebody in the background's got a gun or something. The 2 lads walk off.
Yeah, true. That's it. Yeah. Who was Mrs. Magruder?
Mrs. Magruder was the next stop. I think they do this with Light, or Otto does his next repo. He
goes in
with Light. He hands a bag. No, he hands a bag with a rat in it to Otto and says, "No, just go over. This will work on any lady. Just try it because it's a convertible." So he chucks the rat into the passenger side beside Mrs. Magruder, and Mrs. Magruder just looks at it and goes, "Oh, that's lovely." Pulls out a mace can, squirts him in the face. Yeah. And Light is looking on and goes, "Huh," and just drives off and leaves Otto in the middle of the road.
It's like a hazing.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's good. There's a couple of instances where he fails at his repossession. The next thing, he's got a millionaire and he takes his car. We don't really get to see the millionaire a lot. He runs out after him, but he drives into the trash and he sees this girl, and it's Layla.
I thought she looked very young. Apparently she was 19 in this role.
Yeah, I thought she was very young. Yeah, played by Olivia Barash, who hasn't really done anything since then.
I'm not surprised. Like, she didn't wow me with her acting socks.
No.
But I don't think that's important in this movie.
No. So she's an interesting character to come up because she is with Otto, but then she becomes the agent's helper, and it's just like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a
doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it's so weird though. But she is a kind of conspiracy theorist, isn't she? At the start,
yeah. So he picks her up, and he's chatting her up from the side of the road. That's where he crashed into the bins. Anyway, she jumps into the car. They're driving down the road, and 2 men in black who are obviously blonde. All the men in black are blonde because that's the rule. They drive up beside him, and she jumps underneath her seat and goes, "Oh, don't look at those men. They're out to get me. They're going to kill me because I know about the 4 aliens who are dead."
That's right. In a Chevy Malibu.
64.
Does she show the picture of them then?
Yeah. It's on a really crappy photo, and it just looks like a bunch of condoms filled with water.
That's what it is. They said that. Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
That makes sense, so.
Yeah. Oh, you know what's funny about when he drives into the trash? The old lady. She comes up later.
There's 2 versions of that, apparently. There's one version where she's cursing at him, loads of profanities, and the version I've seen where they've overdubbed the profanities, which is even funnier because it looks wrong. She's giving out to him, "Oh, you should pick that up." But in the other version, apparently, she's calling him lots of things.
But she comes up later and yells at him, "You're the one that drove into my trash." I love the callback.
It's great. It's great.
Yeah, so
she drops. It's where he drops her off now. So she asks him to drop her off at work, which is the United Fruitcake Outlet.
Oh wow, well noted.
Yeah, which is a fantastic little, just to call out how nuts she is. And before she jumps into work, they just doink in the back of the car in mid-daylight.
Yeah, it's sped up. The scene is sped up.
Yeah.
Another weird choice production-wise.
Fantastic. And the next bit is it shoots on to nighttime. Him and Light are at it again.
That's right.
I think they're trying to get a Dodge Charger, a lovely blue car, and he's got a Slim Jim mucking about with it. And then somebody from the house starts shooting at him.
That's right. I love the fact that he says, "Put on your seatbelt" when he gets in.
After some guy just been shooting at him.
Yeah. Yeah. So somebody shoots at him, and then we see Otto with Miller just burning random clothes in a barrel, and this is where Miller starts spewing UFO theories, a la Jack Nicholson.
Facts. Time machines and UFOs. No, it's time machines and UFOs. UFOs are flying saucers, are time machines, and the people that go missing in South America end up in the time before people, because that's where you would go.
Time machines.
Makes sense.
There you go. Actually, it's the next thing that Bud introduces the code. It wasn't earlier on.
Oh no, he does it twice. He mentions the code twice. Yeah. So he starts off early with the code with the Isaac Asimov malarkey at the get-go. He's very big on the code.
I think at this point we get the whole sort of, everybody gets to know that a 64 Malibu has a 20k reward on its head, for want of a better word.
Yeah. Here's where I copped that the number plate was different, and I do a bit of a Google on it. And it's different for a damn good reason. The car actually did get stolen.
Right.
In the few months between the first shot and this shot, somebody nicked their car now, so the plates are different. They don't bother trying to change them.
Right.
Right, we did. Yeah, because the second set of... The reason I noticed it because the second set of plates said GBH. And I was like, grievous bodily harm. There's nothing to do with it.
Yeah. Also a punk band, GBH.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a lot of small scenes here where Otto's being a dick and Leela slaps him twice. We have no commies,
He drops the trousers in the UFO place,
Shit. Yeah. I think Light is like, no commies, no Christians in his car.
Yeah. No, that's Bud who says that.
No, it's serious Bud is that?
Yeah, they're getting the car washed and he's very serious about this. He doesn't want commies, no Christians in his car. Which is interesting.
And then we see Kevin again at the detail place, and the Frank Parnell pulls up and vomits up off screen, and then this is when the Rodriguez brothers nabs the car.
Yeah, they're just driving past and they go, "Oh, hello." They get Kevin. Here, Kevin, I left a box of matches with you there last night. You don't remember? It's in the office. Go get it.
All right.
Okay.
Simple Kevin.
Yoink.
This is where the scenes just come hot and heavy. I'm constantly just writing down the change of scenes here. Otto goes to this lady's house and tries to scam her, and then all of her family
comes in, yeah,
which is funny.
He changes his mind and he decides to walk out, but he's got cojones in this scene because he goes, "You know what? Screw it. I will try to nick the car.
I'll nab the car.
Repo the car, not nick.
Repo, yeah.
But what he didn't cop was the lads had put it up on a jack, so it makes a bit of noise. The car doesn't move anywhere, and the lads all come barreling out of the house. Not good for Otto. Gets a bit of a kicking.
Gets a bit of a beating.
A minor kicking, considering the amount of lads that came out.
Yeah, and they're beating him with their musical instrument boxes, I think, or cases. I love the next scene, because Miller is just doing... Yeah, that's a great scene. But Miller's doing sort of a Native American chant over him just to heal him.
To fix his wounds.
Yeah,
He's obviously not Native American. It's just gobbledygook.
No, but as we'll find out, it may not be gobbledygook.
Well, yeah.
There might be some spiritualness in him. Maybe.
No.
But yeah, I love the character of Pletchner because he's just an asshole for no reason.
Fuck you, Pletchner.
Yeah, Pletchner just keeps on annoying Otto.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's a funny scene, and I don't know why it's funny.
I was in Nam or something like that.
No, I was in 2 World Wars.
2 World Wars, sorry, yes.
I think.
Yes. And then he was a prison guard. Rah, rah, rah. And Otto's like, yeah, fuck you, Pletchner.
Yeah, fuck you, Pletchner.
Yeah,
that was very good. Yeah. I think the nihilist punk robbers take the car next.
The next scene is them jumping out of a pharmacy warehouse. So they've got bags of drugs, bags of pills.
They find the car coincidentally because the Rodriguez's have just pulled up.
There's a great line because the Rodriguez lads have pulled up to get something to eat. And one of the lads says he's on the phone and he's chatting to the person who's organised the Malibu to be taken in. And he goes, "This car is hot," and she's like, "No, it's not stolen. No, it's hot.
It's hot, burning up, man." I love the way when the punk rockers just take the car, they just stand there, the Rodriguez brothers, and go,
"Shit."
They're just like, but they're not feeling nonchalant about it. They're like, "What the bag?" They're just like, whatever.
Which adds to the coolness level of the Rodriguez brothers. Yeah, they don't care. They're like, it's gone.
The punk thieves are too high strung for me to like them as people.
Yeah, I think they're just,
especially in the scene coming up, go nuts in the shop once and for all. One final.
I like the departure of I didn't write his name down. The guy in it. Oh no, sorry. This is actually that's later. Sorry. There's the bit where our scientist lad bumps into them in the next scene, isn't it?
What do we got? We got robbers with drugs. They take the car. We have light shooting blanks. We have Layla. Agents kidnap Layla after doing the call with the Parnell guy from phone box to phone box, and he's speaking backwards and stuff.
Yeah, with a scrambler. Yeah, but they can see each other.
Yeah, they can see each other.
Very, not going to say loaded weapon. Police squad.
Yeah, Naked Gun type thing.
Yeah.
Where they're shooting at each other
from the bins.
They're like,
it's very much like that. Why would you? Yeah. You can see them.
So the agents go and try and run over Parnell, but
they do. But he's fine for some reason.
Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Oh yeah, there's a party at the Repo place. They're just having drinks and I think they talk about
like John Wayne.
Yeah, we have a little bit of a aged comment about John Wayne.
The most I can say about it is that our UFO conspiracy nut says, "Oh yeah, I had him bugged and I got cameras in his house, and he'd come to the door in a dress, yeah." And there's another line after that. Another line after that goes, "Yeah, that's not blah because I like to watch my friends have sex." Right.
All right then.
Yeah. That's weird.
The Repo Men want to find out who beat up. They want to back up Otto.
They don't care they actually literally say, "I don't care it was you. It's just that we can't let people beat up Repo Man, so we're going to beat them up." But I like what Otto does. Instead of putting him on the ladies' band to beat him up, he goes, "Who do I hate?" And our monotone friend from the very beginning of the movie, who was his boss, gets a knock on the door. A bunch of lads outside with baseball bats. Hello.
Yeah. So Layla calls him, and they have I don't know what they say in the phone call. Actually, I can't remember, but there's just so many scenes, and I just have them written.
It's kind of irrelevant, I think. I didn't bother writing down what happens. It's just like, whatever. But the next scene.
Let's just jump to the trunk of the car scene.
Yeah,
with the
this one
punk.
matters. This one
matters. Yeah. There's way too many. There's little jumpy scenes in between that, but it doesn't really matter.
The punk lads here. This is in the bar. Yes, where they meet up, and everybody kind of meets up in this scene. So it's Layla, the Men in Black boss lady with her metal hand, which is kind of interesting in this scene. And the punk lads all sort of meet up on one table.
Yeah, they're a bit hyper, the punk. They're like,
they're like kissing each one's hand at one bit. Ooh, metal hand. Weird. Ooh.
Yeah.
But they get bored after a while, the punk lads, and go, fuck it, let's go do some crimes.
Yeah.
Literally stated as such, which is a great line.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to bother getting any depth into the characters. It's crimes. Hey.
Yeah. Yeah, that's 2 crimes. And they head outside, and
that's where we bump into our scientist lad who's been lobotomized.
Yeah, he's...
Spoiler, sorry.
He wants them to open the trunk.
He does want them to. That's my... It looks a lot like my car, you know, guys. And they're like, no, it's not your car. It looks a lot like my car. Like, maybe, have you looked in the trunk? Are you scared to look in the trunk?
No,
I'm not scared. You're really scared. Yeah.
Well, the head guy kind of is scared with them.
He half looks in and his hand gets melted. But poor old Archie, or King Archie, as he said, because he says, Archie. I'm now the boss man. I'm not scared to look in the trunk. He looks in the trunk. And we get a replay of the first scene where our CHP lad gets meltified. So Archie's down to a pair of boots. Not great for Archie. But I love the next line, because the 2 remaining pillhead / punk rockers, one of them shouts, let's go get sushi and not pay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, they're pieces of work, and we haven't seen the last of them. We'll see them soon.
It's great. The next scene is the 4 repo lads. They're driving back from their fun times with baseball bats. But they see somebody.
There's a bunch of cars that happen here. They see the Rodriguez brothers. They see the...
Well, they don't see the Malibu. The Rodriguez brothers are trying to take down the Malibu for the 20 grand. But that's when the air boys, the helping hands, turn up with their sheriff's hats. And they decide to... there's 4 of us, only 2 of them. Let's mess them up. So it was a very... I don't know if you've seen Anchorman, but this reminds me very much of that, where the news crowds start beating each other up. This is somewhat like that. This is better. It's ridiculous. It ends with the Rodriguez brothers winning by saying, the car you just smashed up wasn't actually a repo car after all, so we're going to sue you. My neck hurts. Yeah, you guys are screwed.
Why does Bud quit the repo?
He gets
in the next scene.
Canned in the next scene. He doesn't quit. He's told
he gets fired.
He gets fired because the boss man or pseudo boss man says to him, "Don't come in the rest of the week."
Right.
Bud starts giving him more crap, and he says, "Well, don't come in the rest of the month." And then he starts freaking out, and then he says, "Well, don't bother, just feck off." So he gets fired because he's given out to the boss man who was with him. With the Rodriguez brothers and knows exactly what happened. So he was lying to him. No, we didn't do that. I was there.
Pletchner laughs because he's an asshole.
It's a great little... It takes 2 seconds. It just cuts away from it because...
Yeah.
Great scene.
Yeah, so Bud and Otto are talking in the car. I think... I just have a bunch of just random things that happen here. I don't really want to go through each scene.
No need. There is one interesting bit. They're driving through I don't know what you'd call it, Skid Row, I suppose, for LA. There's a bunch of people just destitute on the side, and Bud's giving out crap about them. And Otto's like, "No, shut up, man. It's just they don't have any money." Anyway, they have an argument. Otto jumps out, but there's a scene here where just at the end of the road is just a man sitting on the ground, and he's just pointing. Never explained. Brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
Pointing off into the distance, and then the Malibu drives past, and Otto gives chase.
That's right.
And then vomits.
Yeah, because he's way out of shape.
He runs for about 20 seconds and just stops and goes,
Yeah.
No reason. There's no magic involved here. He's just out of shape, so he vomits.
But then Parnell just lets him into the car.
Yeah, and they have a nice little conversation that makes not a lot of sense. Parnell starts talking about his friend, I've had a lobotomy. Oh, my friend had a lobotomy. There's no risk to it. It's good for you. Because, you know, the two hemispheres, they're always arguing with each other. So why wouldn't you have a lobotomy? Radiation, sure. Yes, indeed. There's nothing wrong with radiation. It just gets bad press.
What does he say? Destroys people. I have destroys people in quotation.
Oh, yes, that's his neutron bomb. So he invented the neutron bomb.
Destroys people.
It melts their skin and leads to the buildings.
Yeah. He says, I do feel funny, and then he conks out.
Yeah, blood starts pouring out of his face.
Yeah, that's the end of Parnell.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I love that Otto goes, I'll pull over here. Oh, no, he slowly crashes into the building and then drags Parnell out of the car, leaves him on a bench, and just drives off with the car.
Yeah.
He didn't even check to see if he's alive.
No, he's punk. Punks don't check for vital signs.
Yeah, it's mad. I love it.
So do we have anything important to say before the nihilists punks rob the shop for one last time?
No, so Bud drops off the car at the Repo HQ.
Yeah, he locks it up there.
Locks it up there. Is it important? Probably not.
No. So they rob the shop. There's a bit of a shootout in the shop. It gets a bit bloody and ketchup-y. Ketchup written on the rails.
Yeah. That's somebody falls into the ketchup and it's ketchup on people. You don't know if it's blood or it's ketchup. Everybody gets shot apart from Otto and the girl nihilist. I don't know her name right now. I don't particularly care.
No, doesn't matter.
She hands him some popcorn in a bag that says popcorn on it for no reason. Before she does that, though, he says, "Is there any chance of us getting a physical relationship?"
Just this, he was just trying to make her not shoot him.
Yeah, but it's a fantastic approach to doing so. It works. He gets popcorn instead of dead.
Yeah. Who says society made me what I am?
That's the leader of the nihilist group.
Oh yeah, he checks on him. He checks on him, but he doesn't check on Bud. Bud is there dying.
Yeah.
What's going on? He's a punk. He's a fucking punk.
Yeah. I love the statements from the fella. I'm not to blame. Society's to blame. Yeah. But then Otto says, "You're a suburban white punk. You are
bullshit.
Bullshit." Yeah. So it's a great little 2 seconds.
Yeah. So I think they all had to see Bud in the hospital soon, right? There's like
this is where things start getting a bit.
It's
nuts. It's not that it was sane before that, but it accelerates at this point. Yeah, they're all sitting around with Bud. Bud's not making a whole heap of sense.
Yeah.
No, actually, before that happens, is this before? Yes, they go to the HQ.
Yeah, go to the HQ.
Why do I have my pulls a gun on? Oh, I can't remember the name. The black lady who worked in HQ. She's having an argument with one of the men in black, and
right,
she pulls a gun on him. But Pleshner kicks the door in and points a gun at her and says, basically, "I'm going to take you out now, finally." And then he gets Otto runs in and throws a big pot of coffee in his head.
Get my face,
which is wonderful because one of the men in black. She's going to hit him over the head with a chair, and that's when he screams out, "Not the face!"
Not the face.
It's great.
The agents are sort of they're not sinister. They're just
not sinister at all. They're just a bunch
agents.
of turnips, which adds to the character.
Yeah,
the almost comic book like nature of them.
So we do have sort of like the agent Rogers. The Rodriguez saves Agent Rogers, and then everybody's heading to the hospital.
Yeah.
The trash lady is there. This is when the trash lady is there. Hey,
you're the guy that hit my bins.
Yeah. And I love the fact, this has just made me so laugh, was the fact that Kevin was under a blanket on the trolley in the corridor.
He's like, Otto?
And then he just puts the sheet back on his face.
It's completely, it doesn't even acknowledge him. He's such a dick.
Yeah, he's looking for Bud.
He likes Bud. Why didn't you check him in the shop? Yeah. Because he knows Bud might be something to do with the car.
All the Repo Men are named after beers, by the way.
Otto?
Apart from Otto.
Oh, okay.
Bud Light.
Oh, for shit.
Miller.
Yeah. How did I miss that? Bud Light. Oh my god. Oh crap. Such a nice touch.
What happened? So Bud,
So like Bud is
everybody's after the
sick.
car.
They
Bud's
run.
sick.
Everybody runs downstairs for some reason. I can't remember. They're chasing. Oh, they're chasing after Otto. Otto.
Yeah. There's a big smoke bomb, and he jumps out the window.
And as he's doing that, a car drives past everybody, and it's glowing. But it's two people in like hazmat suits running up a stairwell. The car drives past the two of them, and one of them gets zapped by the car and drops dead. And the other guy continues on his way. Never explained. It just happens. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic. Glowing cars.
So it's there. Everybody's trying to figure out how to get into it, and Miller walks up and goes, "I'll have some of that."
Yeah, just danders into
in.
it.
Then
there's also an Ice Cube brain session for some reason.
It's an Ice Cube brain thing. It's all just
it's blurred into one stuff. Crazy lump of
we don't have to mention. Yeah, we're like it's everything just happens in the last 10 minutes of the movie that just gets a bit crazy.
But there's two lines before Miller gets in that I need to mention.
Do it.
Because the boss lady, somebody comes up with some beer. I think it's not Pleshner, it's one of the other guys. I think it was the boss man of the Helping Hands with a 6-pack. You want a beer? And she goes, "Beer? No beer is needed here." And then it cuts to the agents, and one of them just goes, I love this job.
Oh yeah.
As his friends are getting zapped and killed, he's sitting there looking at them. I love this job.
Yeah, they're leaning against the wall, just chatting about how good their job is.
As their friends are dying.
Yeah.
And then Miller, as you say, he gets towards the car, puts his hand on it. Everybody else is frazzled by the car. He's like, "Oh, lovely car." Yeah. Gets in, sits down, and beckons Otto over.
Yeah.
On over. There's another great line. Layla is beside Otto at this point, and she says, "Well, what about our relationship? Don't go with him. Stay with me." What's the line he says? "Yeah, fuck that."
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah. Gets in the car. The lads go on a joyride.
They just head up vertically.
Why not? And the special effects are so wickedly bad.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
No, it's better. If they tried here with that budget, you would have destroyed it.
Yeah, it fits the entire manicness of this movie.
Yeah.
For clarity, I had a few beers while I watched this last night, or I had a few beers before watching this movie last night. So
I suspect very strongly that would have aided in the enjoyment of such a movie.
Yeah, I'm guessing if you partake in the wacky tobacco, it probably would be an excellent movie. Yeah. But I think it's worth a second watch just to catch all the nuanced stuff that you don't really catch on. It's not enough to become like, I don't know, like a Naked Gun or whatever. It's not, but it's certainly a character of a movie. There's certainly...
I understand its cult nature. I understand its cult following. I get it. I absolutely get it. And I understand that there's levels to this that we haven't delved into.
Yeah,
because it is.
We're totally.
A lot happens.
We're totally probably not doing it justice, but I think as well, just thinking about it, like this punk sort of nature of Otto is the sort of beating heart that drives the plot, but it doesn't really, it matters, but it doesn't really matter because all this weirdness around him generates the direction of where this movie is going.
Yeah, I strongly feel that the punk nature of the movie is secondary. It really is. It maybe helps explain away some of his unfeelingness towards certain situations.
Yeah, which makes the plot drive along a bit when he's making just apathetic decisions.
But to be honest, those situations didn't need all that much explaining concerned with the logic of this movie. There isn't a whole heap of logic, so why bother?
No, it's a movie full of oddities in a somewhat linear fashion.
Linear. It is, I suppose, linear. Loosely, but
Yeah,
loosely.
pretty much. They don't really go back and forth a lot. It's pretty linear, but
Well,
it's
apart from the
odd.
time travel that they obviously do at the end of it.
Well, I don't know where they're going.
It's basically a flying saucer with aliens in the boot. That's a flying saucer, and as we've learned during this movie, that's a time machine.
Miller time.
Hey, very good.
I haven't graded this movie yet.
I found it really tough to grade it.
I'm trying to think of the general score I should give it, and then just fit it around that, which isn't the.
It's not very scientific.
No, but I think it'll make it work. Like, it's definitely not a 4 out of 5 for me.
No. There are elements in it that deserve some love. And I have to give it some credit for the extremely low budget.
Yeah, for sure. Why not? Because of its odd nature and it's quite unique in its way, I'll give the plot 3 out of 5 just because it's not normal and it's a little paradigm shifting at times with regards what they do. And
I went for 3.75 on it, mainly because I love some of the dialogue. The oddball, off the wall, weird situations followed with just ham-fisted delivery, intentionally ham-fisted delivery, like his boss at the very start. It's just so monotone and so beautiful. Kevin. Yeah, it's
cult
stupid.
character.
It's really stupid as a movie. It's intentionally though, and when you intentionally do something stupid, sometimes it really works, and I think it works in this.
Yeah, as I said, if you get this movie wrong, you get it bad.
Oh yeah, you get a, I don't know, giant octopus versus shark or something, I don't know, type thing. It is of that level of ridiculously insane budget, I imagine.
It does have sort of echoes of a Napoleon Dynamite type thing, but multiplied by it. Napoleon Dynamite's
Kevin
odd.
reminds me a little bit of Napoleon Dynamite.
A character in Napoleon Dynamite, he actually does look like Napoleon Dynamite, but I just love the fact that he's singing a 7-Eleven theme. It's just so funny at the start. It's like, what the fuck? Why doesn't he listen to normal music? Why is he listening to 7-Eleven jingles?
Maybe he's from the Demolition Man time travel area.
Oh yeah. That could be his boggle, all right. Acting, like apart from Layla's not a good actor, but Emilio's fine. It's not like it doesn't really matter that.
I think he does a very good job in it.
Harry Dean Stanton's good.
He doesn't deserve an Oscar for it. But
no. What's his name? Fox Harris plays J. Frank Purnell. He's good at being lobotomized.
Yeah, he's very good. And Pleshner. Oh, Pleshner, what an asshole. He's great.
What a great character, yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah, there's a few good characters here, and they're well played. As you said, Bud is played by Harry is just bang on. I'll
give 3.5.
What did I give? I give it 3. But I can, it's good.
It's whatever. Yeah,
it's as much as you can act with that script. It's a weird movie. You're never going to get an Oscar-winning performance in it because the dialogue in the script is just too weird.
Yeah. I was expecting a lot more punk in the soundtrack just because it was delivered to me as a punk movie beforehand.
See, I went in cold. I didn't Google this movie, so I didn't know it was supposed to be a punk style movie.
I guess the vibe in it is punk. It doesn't really have that crazy amount of punk music.
It's not a music-based movie. It's got some good songs in it, some good choices. I went with 3.75 in the music. I don't know if that's a bit high, but I'm going to stick with it. I enjoyed the music that was there, and it was never out of place.
Yeah,
maybe that's a bit high.
Yeah, I gave 3 just because I think a lot of it were quite low-key moments, especially Suicidal Tendencies. It's just like, it's very low. It's like, is that them?
Yeah, I got a bang of, the old 80s kicked me in the face there, and I was like, oh, yes, nice, tasty.
Tasty and tempting. Food and Supermax.
You're as bad as Kevin singing jingles.
Yeah, I'm just going to be Kevin from now on. I like his style. I don't know what he was doing in the gurney, though, in the
We'll
hospital.
never know. Otto didn't ask him.
And why was the sheet over his head and he was alive?
Who cares? It's brilliant.
Yeah. Production, I'll give 3.75 production just because of the choices, and they painted the car with 3M reflective paint. They didn't have this computer graphics to do it.
It works.
It's fine.
It works with that budget. That's the best you're going to do. If you tried any harder than that, like if you'd introduced CGI with that budget, the effects would have been horrendous. This, it looks kind of stupid, but it's a good stupid. If that makes sense.
Oh, that definitely makes sense. Yeah.
So yeah, I give it 3.5 in production. Like some of the choices are fantastic. It's not amazing cinematography by any measure, but
no, if you think about well, I'd have to watch it again, but I do remember the side view mirror at the start, which was very good.
Yes, I have to give.
And I'm thinking there must be others throughout because I think the cinematographer was actually well liked and well respected. I don't know what exactly he did, but I could soon tell you. But I think he was well. Yeah, Robbie Mueller was the director of photography, and he became the sort of conduit between Harry Dean Stanton and the rest of the crew.
Because he was a
Harry Dean Stanton
name.
Liked him. Yeah.
What an asshole.
Yeah, he did Paris, Texas, and Repo Man and other stuff, but yeah, he was respected. Anyway, good movie.
Good movie.
Good movie.
On average, we've given it a good result, and I think it's a deserved result. It'll not change your mind about genres in cinema, but it's a good time. It really is.
It is a good time, and it's an hour and a half of just odd shit. And you were saying your wife watched it.
She did. She wasn't going to watch it, but she had nothing to do for an hour and a half. Her kids were away at art class, so we were like, "Do you want to watch the movie?" She's like, oh, "Go on." So, and she's delighted she watched it. She loved it because it's kooky and weird, and she's big into that. I think this movie could be a little bit Marmite. A lot of people would not like this style. Then a lot of people don't like things like Napoleon Dynamite.
True, that's very Marmite.
If you don't like that sort of stuff, that type of comedy it's similar in some respects. So if you don't like that type of weirdness, you're not going to like this.
Yeah, a couple of the reviews harp on about the violence and stuff. I didn't really
violence.
Yeah, like the shotgun scene, and
it's unrealistic violence. It really is, and it's intentionally kind of silly.
Yeah, Dave Kerr in the Chicago Reader gave it 60. He said, Cox's style is a step beyond camp into a comedy of pure disgust. Much of the film is churlishly unpleasant, but there's a core of genuine anger that gives the project an emotional validation lacking in the flabby American comedies of the early 80s. Yeah, that's just a bunch of words that
it's definitely words.
Yeah. But quite a lot of good reviews. The Telegraph, Philip Horn. This unforgettable movie is not to be missed. Though full of superb jokes, it has a weird integrity, something melancholy and serious at its core that stays with you. Don't know about melancholy. I didn't feel a bit of melancholy. I did feel something about Otto's journey.
There's a bang of 80s depression about it. Especially at the start, where he's kicking a can down the road and he's without a job, and he's got the angst. Not quite teenager angst, but he's got angst.
Yeah. I don't think Roger Ebert did a review, but I just want to make sure I'm not missing good old Roger.
We normally have El Rog.
We do have a little Roger. Oh, there he is, 75 out of 100. This is the kind of movie that baffles Hollywood because it isn't made from any known formula and doesn't follow the rules. Well done, Roger.
Yes. And you know what? That point there is very important, I think. It doesn't follow a formula. And I love something that is unique. And this is unique. It's not the best movie out there, and there's movies that follow the formula are way better than this. But it's nice to get something refreshing like this. Cleanse the palate.
Sort of reminds us of Easy Rider. That was unique and innovative for the time.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
Doesn't follow a formula.
I think this follows the script more so than Easy Rider did.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is unique. We need more movies like that in the industry. Although it's very hard to be unique with the amount of movies that are being made now.
Yeah. People will always come up with something innovative and paradigm
without being too
shifting.
bloody artsy.
Oh, by the way, we didn't mention that. Just to wrap up the movie, the credits rolled backwards.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's just weird. Yeah, my wife turned to me and went, is it just me, or is that not normally how credits go? You're right. Yeah, it's gone backwards.
Yeah. I also do like,
Subversive.
I forgot to mention the, when the Iggy Pop themes plays at the start, there's this green map thingy, which I thought was quite artistically cool.
It's actually very nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's sort of jumping around the place
Yeah,
from
it's like
LA.
I think it's might mirror the movements in the movie. I read something, but don't quote me on that. Let's stick this episode into the passenger seat of a glowing Malibu car and send it up into the nether
Well, I,
ether.
for one, I'm going to open the trunk,
Yeah,
leave my boots behind.
yeah. Okay then. Well, this is a moment. This is the end of 99, episode 99. From now on, we'll have triple bloody digits, which is crazy to
That's a
imagine.
big number.
We started this, was it
20 years ago?
20 years ago? I was a porter in a hotel, and you were.
I was working in a grocery store that sold products that said beer and popcorn.
I came in
Drinks.
after a hard stint at work for drinks. Drinks! And for some cigarettes in a carton that has cigarettes label on it. Anyway, we want to look back at the last couple of years. I think it's 2 years we've been doing this, right? Maybe. Well, divide 100.
It's
52
just
weeks
under
in a
full
year.
2 years, yeah.
Yeah. We started maybe March, April of 2023.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
2023.
5 plus minus 2 is 3.
Yeah, we have not missed a week. We have not. This is crazy because I have the attention span of a gnat, a dead gnat.
Similarly.
But I think I enjoy it enough to keep it going. It's not obviously
the random nature is the most beautiful part of it, because movies like this, movies like Easy Riser wouldn't be the things I would have bothered to watch in the past. But this is, we do watch an awful lot of crap, but every now and then you get a nugget like today.
Yeah, and that's what we'll do for episode 100. We're going to go through our 99 episodes. A couple of those are recaps, so it's not fully 99 movies, but we're going to pick one or two from each of the decades that we've done. And if you watch this on video, we're going to embed some clips, some of our favorites, some of the worst clips, some of the ones that just stick out in our minds. But if you don't watch us and just listen to us, you'll hear the audio of the clips. It's not a big deal, and that's fine. And we'll describe our reaction to it as well. If I was anyway had time and the attention span, I would put clips into every episode. Maybe if we get good feedback from episode 100 and it gets lots of more views than usual, then I could find the time to put clips of the movie that we do.
Quit your day job.
Yes. Yeah, that's when I quit my day job and become homeless, because podcasting doesn't pay.
Yeah, and then you'll end up the side of a street pointing off into the void.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to do in episode 100. It's going to be fun, because I was looking through the list going, what the hell was that movie? Crooked House. It's like, what was that movie? I was like, oh yeah, Crooked House. That was the Agatha Christie movie. It was just random. Of course, I just picked randomly. Well, yeah, weird that.
Oh, that's the one. Oh, that ends. Oh, yeah. Forgot about that one. Yeah.
Spoiler alert: the kid is the killer.
Oh no! I don't know how it ends.
No, it's a weird, stupid movie. Glenn Close is in it, right?
Yeah, she's very good in it, actually. The shotgun.
Yeah, she plays a good matriarchal character. But we won't be probably showing a clip of that movie from that decade. So yeah, stay tuned if you want to see clips from Stick.
We're just going to talk about Stick for 2 hours.
Yeah, it's going to be actually a deep dive into Stick and Burt Reynolds' filmography.
Yeah, we're going to spend 5 minutes on every minute of that movie.
Yeah, and how his movie never got better. His movie career never got any better after Stick.
That's a pinnacle right there.
Yeah. Okay, that'll be good. That will be fun. Might take longer. Might, like we usually do, 50 to an hour. Might be an hour and a half. So deal with it.
Who knows?
Deal with it. As our loyal listeners and viewers, deal with it. In preparation for our 100th episode, please share this with anybody you think likes movies and the nature of randomness. It is a religion now. I've registered the religion with the Office of Religions in Nebraska.
You be careful not to upset Bud. He doesn't like certain religions.
No Christians,
no commies.
No commies. It's going to be in my headstone. No Christians, no commies. Move on, Bud, move on.
All
fantastic. Right, cool. All right, well, look forward to seeing everybody on episode 100. If you would prepare yourself to maybe leave comments on our 100th episode, hopefully. Because actually, since Christmas...
Insults as well, if you want.
Insults as well, you useless assholes. Why are you doing this still? Since Christmas, we've had a good uptick in viewers. It's quite nice to see. Maybe it's just people's after New Year's resolutions going, I must listen to more podcasts. But yeah, it's good. Okay, so we'll see you on episode 100 for a review of our first half of our... No, maybe I can't call it half because I don't know if we're going to go for another 100. It could be another 200.
Don't even know if we'll be alive in 2 years' time.
No, that's the problem with podcasts and middle-aged living.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you in episode 100. Bye-bye.
Ta-ra.